Hello, my name is Tony Jacobson and I'm with Fons and Porter, and in today's So Easy lesson I'm going to teach you how to window fusible applique. And basically what we're talking about is when you use the fusible web, it can tend to make your pieces that you're appliquing a little stiff, and so if you use this technique to window, then it'll keep your applique softer and more flexible, and it'll be feeling more like you're using the fabric instead of having all of this glue residue underneath. And so whether you're doing something like I show here, which is a star, I'm going to show you cutting out circles. It all depends, this can be used for anything that has a wider area in the middle. Real tiny pieces this doesn't work for, but if you've got a large area where you can cut away the extra glue that's on the fusible web, that's a good thing to do. So what you'll have with any given pattern is they will give you a pattern for your applique piece, and in this case it's just a simple circle. But if you used all of this, fuse this solid, then this is going to be a little stiff. So, but we'll start by you'll need to talk to your local quilt shop owner. They'll be able to help you figure out what kind of fusible web is best for your project. So it gives you the kind of hole that you want and everything. But the fusible web, this particular one has paper on both sides of your fusible web. Some of them just have it on one side. If it has it on just the one side, you'll put the tacky side down towards your template because you want to draw on the paper side. So you can take your ceramic lead pencil, you just lay it over. If it's an intricate design that you're working with, you may want to put a little painter's tape or something to make sure that it stays in place because you may want to turn it. I'm just going to go around this without taping this down, and you just follow the edge of your pattern. And this one, is just a simple shape. Some of your shapes, they may look like they're backwards compared to what you're going to be doing once you have your finished piece. The fusible is going to go on the wrong side of your fabric, so you need your pattern to be the reverse if it's a design that needs to go a certain direction. Here it doesn't matter because it doesn't, no matter what you've got with the circle, it's going to be the same. So now that we've got this drawn, we don't need the pattern piece anymore. What we'll do is what we call a rough cut. And you want to cut around the outside. You don't want to cut on the line you've just drawn. You will use that later. You just want to give a rough cut, get rid of some of the extra material around your fusible web. Anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch outside that line will work. Just depends on how frugal you want to be. So you've got your design, you've got some space on the outside. Now, here is where we're going to do the windowing. We've got all of this that we really don't need in order to make the fusible work. And so what you can do on a piece like this is you just what I do is I just fold it in half, take a snip out of the middle. Now you may not, if you want to be more conservative and you've got a big area and you think you can reuse that, you may want to go closer to the edge to do this. But just get something so you can start cutting on the inside. And here again, you want to just cut a scant 1/4 inch inside of the line that you've drawn. And that way, when we're all done, you're going to have a lot less fusible glue under your piece, so you won't notice as much that you've actually fused it on once you've stitched it down. People might even think that you've just stitched it without fusing it. But so this could be a piece that if you had smaller applique pieces, you could use again, depending on how you cut it. So you may not want to throw this away, but we'll set that aside. So what you'll do is you'll take your piece of fabric. I just got a square of fabric. You want to turn it over. I also need to take, because this fusible web has paper on both sides, I will need to get the back paper off. You can use your fingernail, or if you're having a problem with it, You can also take one of your pins, and it will help you score it so that you can pull it off. I'll take that way. So as you might be able to tell, there's a little bit of shininess. That's your tacky glue. That side goes against the wrong side of your fabric. And you just want to make sure that you place it so that it's far enough away that you're not going off the edge of your piece of fabric. And you can bring it over to your pressing surface. And again, you'll need to check the manufacturer's instructions on just exactly how long you need to press this in order for it to adhere, because it all depends on which fusible you're using, what the recommendations are. So you've got that now it's fused to it. You may just want to give it a little bit of time just to cool down a little before you try to, then you need to take off, or nope, getting ahead of myself. The next step is you need to then go back and you will cut on the line this time around. So you're going to have a little bit of fusible web left on the fabric, that your waste fabric. And you may want to make sure you get rid of that before you, if you had it, had this on a larger piece of fabric, before you put it back in your stash, you may want to make sure that you've gotten all that extra cut off of it so that you don't accidentally get some of the glue onto another project that you don't want it on. But there you've got it. So you've got your shape you need. Look at it, it's a real nice circle. But the only glue now that you're going to have is right there on the edge. And this is where sometimes it's really good to have a pin that you can come in and catch under that paper. You just pull the paper away. And you can't really see it very good on the camera, but you just have that little bit of the sticky edge. So you can get the fabric you want to put this on, just place it however you need to, and bring it over to your pressing surface. Again, using the manufacturer's recommended amount of time to press it. And what you've got is you've got a nice flexible piece. There's not all that glue that will make it stiff when you're done. And you can go ahead, you'll want to get a fusible that you can sew through, and you take it to the machine, and you can either do like a satin stitch or a buttonhole stitch. Some of the fusible applique projects, if they're not going to be laundered a lot, if they're wall hanging or something, you may be able to leave raw edge, but usually those, it's not as important to window. So I also wanted to show you, this is being a simple shape, but I wanted to show you that, like with the stars, again, it's the same basic process where you've drawn your star out, you've done your rough cut of the star, then you go in and you can cut out, again, you cut out the inside part because you don't need the glue there. You just need to make sure that the glue is going to be on the edge. Then you put it on the wrong side of your fabric because your right side of your fabric is this bright yellow. Again, you fuse it onto your right side, and then you cut on the lines and you get the star shape. So this is how you can window your fusible applique so that it's nice and flexible and stays soft in your projects, especially if you're doing something like a baby quilt or something. You want to make sure that it's nice and soft for the child. So I hope you've learned a lot today. Please check at fonsandporter.com for other Sew Easy lessons that might be helpful to you, and happy quilting.